This is my scout day for the 12-day time-lapse project, and I am meeting my point of contact to do a site run-through and see where all these GoPros are going to go.
This is actually so much better than I thought.
This is really good. I like the little deck out here. C-stand will be close. We got power here, and this is a really good view. I might put like kind of like a black drape over here to cut any reflections on the window. I just want to go over recap. So we'll have the window camera up there set up at 6 a.m. And then at 7, trucks are going to be offloading at the docks.
Yes.
And then at 8, they're going to start with the pipe and drape and eventually carpet. And by that time, cameras are locked for the whole show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're good. We did a site visit. I am so happy I had a day of pre-production because we figured out a lot of things that would have been insanely disruptive during go time. So now we have appropriate call times. We have clearances. I have key cards. I have coordination with the dock managers, the expo floor managers. So very, very happy about how we're going to be starting this project. 11:30 p.m. getting everything dialed. We're using power with a dummy battery and an intervalometer. I'll talk more about that later. But we have our C-stands in here, and we have all of our GoPros, and this is 1 GoPro, 2 GoPro, 3 GoPro, 3 GoPro, 4 GoPro. I'm taking the doors off, loading in the cards, and I'm gonna go through the settings, format, and set everything up so that tomorrow I can put them on these, which I purchased. I purchased a bunch of them, 4 of them, and be able to set them on the C-stands and get ready to go, because as soon as tomorrow starts, I have to put the cameras in and they are set for the week. It's officially day 1, but how did I even get this job? So I set up an account on Production Hub, and my first job was for this company. They were setting up a conference and they needed some B-roll. I did the job. They liked it. A few months later, they said, hey, do you remember us? We have a 12-day time-lapse project coming up. Can you send us a proposal? Are you able to do it? So it's a very simple, you do one job for someone, you get the next one, and you just build these relationships. This is the setup for one of our 2 primary cameras. So we have a partition here. These are called stanchions. I didn't know that, but I ordered 2 of them. From the convention center, we have a nice do not touch, please stay away. And then when I did my site visit last night, I thought that there might be some reflection possibilities. So I brought this large black backdrop and secured it by putting the weight mostly on this extension arm from the C-stand. So the weight sits on top of the arm there, on top of this light stand, and then it's just lightly held on by the tape on the outside and on the inside. So when we go under, all the reflections are cut out. We have our power strip taped on. We have cabling taped on. We have a little sticker here. I don't know if you can see that, but it says 400 gigabytes at 5-minute intervals, just so I know. So this camera and the camera that I will put over there will be up for 12 days. And I like this setup right now. I'm about to crank all of these arms down, and then they will not be touched until 5 p.m. And hopefully they won't move at all. So we have an absolute beam of a light coming in. The C70 is the only camera that can have ND filters and a polarizer behind the lens. No other camera system in the world can do that. So I'm using my RF to EF adapter with a circular polarizer built in. And when I spin that wheel, this is what happens. So we have no detail in the ground, right? I spin the polarizer, detail. So no detail, detail. And that makes a huge difference. Look at that. Absolutely clipping highlights right there. I spin and they go away. Full detail. pipe and drape is getting set up, so we have our other primary angle, and I don't feel good with one. Always need a backup, so that's why we're going to use the A6500. Now, I thought this had an internal intervalometer. It does not, and I found that out at the last minute, so I overnighted from Amazon this guy. It had good reviews. It was 25 bucks. So far, it is working, and I'm really, really happy because this was the redundant camera, and if it didn't work with the intervalometer, it wouldn't function at all. So we're getting mains power on both of these, dummy battery and USB-C, everything taped up nice and tight on 2 C-stands about 10 feet high. I let them know that I needed a ladder before we began, so this was already here, and the show is going, so I'm gonna get these 2 started, and that might be it for the day until I come back at night and shut everything off. So I'm basically just going from camera to camera and babysitting these all day just to double check. I don't want anything to go wrong, and I just keep going to the 3 cameras, and then I have a remote one, and the 5th one I'm not even using yet. But I don't want to leave the site. I just need to make sure day 1 is flawless, and then the rest is easy. All right, just did my daily check-in with the floor manager, kind of find out that they're going to be rolling carpet today down the aisles. Some of the booths already have carpet, and then they're going to be hanging a big centerpiece from the catwalk. So I like to check in with him every day, see if there's something new going on. When I got here on the morning of day 2, I saw that one of these large installments had partially blocked the view of the GoPro and mirrorless camera that are on the floor. So I made a quick decision, and I said, let's move the mirrorless up to the window view where it will be unobstructed, and we'll only get day 2 through 12. But there's a chance I can save it by grabbing shots when the expo is empty at the end and making that look like day 1. So trying to find solutions. Florida is in the middle of a hurricane, but the conference is still going, but this is a new one. The water just came into the building. Luckily, everything was elevated or direct wires weren't touching the ground, but that is a scary sight to walk into. On paper, this job is pretty easy. It's you plug in GoPros and let them run, but I knew it wouldn't be easy, and as you can tell, there are problems every single day, so it's very important that I arrive early and keep checking and put in the extra effort because you never know what's going to happen. This may look familiar. I shot this in a vlog a couple of weeks ago. I was just doing a 2-camera shoot, A and B, for this conference, and I only quoted them for on-site production. Afterwards, they requested a quote for how much would it be to edit it, and so I made it worth my while, but nothing crazy. And essentially, I just go through these 45-minute to an hour-long sessions, just switching from A camera to B camera on a multi-cam sequence by hitting 1 and 2. So some of the easiest editing I've ever done, and that's essentially why I took the job. So it's day 5 or 6, and the hurricane passed, left a little bit of a souvenir. I kind of have my workflow down by now. Essentially babysitting the cameras, but making sure battery levels are good, memory card levels are good, and most importantly that no one is touching anything. So let's turn this on. There we go. Get the intervalometer. So this little Amazon $20 thing turned out to be fantastic. I'll set that up in a second, and then it resets every time you turn it off, which is a bummer. So let me turn our GoPro on, our redundant angle, and get that going to Timelapse. No one's here yet. Came here a little early to get these going because it seems like if you miss something, if you miss 30 minutes, a whole section of the expo could be cleared out, so just got to get it done fast. I had a massive dry spell of work earlier this year, and that's the whole reason why I've been able to make this vlog, is I had so much extra time. But work is coming back, travel is coming back, and I just got an inquiry to shoot 6 days in Nassau, Bahamas, late December. I jumped on that as fast as I could. Now, I've been booked for the Bahamas 3 times this year. All 3 of them have fallen through, so I really hope this one pans out. And I'll be an assistant and a second shooter. So I think I'm gonna cut the vlog here for this time-lapse project. I know it's different than what I normally do, and maybe someone else is in that position where they're gonna do something different. Just these are the things that I'm learning, so maybe they can help you before you go into the next one. And I don't know what job I have coming up next, or if I'll even film the second half of this job, but I'll bring you guys in for whatever it is.